Yeah, g'day Heathers and gentlemen. Let's take a look at this beautiful old DoAll 16-inch bandsaw. Specifically the blade welder repair my mate Anton did.
So when I first got this machine, one of the things that I wanted to do was try this welder. Put a test piece in here and activated the welder by pressing this down. But what I didn't realize is that the sliding rod that moves these jaws was a little bit corroded or something, and it jammed on, so essentially the welding wouldn't shut off and it burnt out.
That's all very well, but does it have a nameplate that needs cleaning?
Yeah, well, this is the mecca of nameplates actually. If you come around the front here, you've got the DoAll job selector, 2 bands of it here, complete with various different things that you wouldn't normally cut anymore, like asbestos, bakelite. Got another little nameplate over here, which is hard to read. Come over here, we've got the DoAll speed indicator. Then we've got the serial number on the outside. Then we've got the DoAll welder, which is a DBW1, single phase. We've got a nameplate around here, another one there. We've got another one down here, I don't even know what that is. Oh, that was the original supplier's nameplate. And inside here we have, this is the main data plate showing the model number.
Oh, that's very tasty. It's unfortunately a bit too clean.
So you can see that this serial number, if you know about DoAll's, the second 2 digits are the year of manufacture, which is only a few years after DoAll started.
Okay, so that's about 10 years older than my one, because mine's a 57.
Okay, so we've got another nameplate down here on the motor, which is the original motor that was supplied with it, and it is a 1/2 horsepower 3-phase motor made in the USA.
Man, that's a beautiful old motor, eh? So the transformer here is just an isolation transformer?
It's probably single phase going to the welder. Down the bottom there we've got a compressor to pump the dust off the blade, and then you come up to the variator mechanism here.
It's funny, you can see there's a couple of speeds that it's not real happy with, huh?
And that gearbox to me is a bit grumbly, but...
So this doesn't have a gear change mechanism, does it? It's got the gearbox, but it's just fixed in a single speed, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
From the castings and everything, it looks identical to the gearbox on mine, which has 2 speeds, either like 1-to-1 or 7-to-1, I think is the low ratio. Okay, so you've got the big bob weight there, which runs up through cables to this mechanism on the table here, huh? That's pretty much the same as mine, although it looks like every single component's probably different.
Yeah, so that would go around there like that. Hook onto this. Like that. Something like that, and then you'd release the tension here, let it out, put your work in here, and then let it go to pull in. And you can adjust the rate of feed with this wheel here.
Yeah, I've got the same mechanism on mine, and I'm pretty sure I'm never ever going to use it. Boy, that's quite a meaty blade on there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the best condition.
So this is also very different from mine. Yours has 2 separate doors, top and bottom, whereas mine just has one big door which covers the entire side of the machine. Got 1 set of blade guides with mine. What about you?
Well, here's the bycatch here.
Oh man, that's a nice set of blade guides. We'll have to measure those up because I've got a stick of O2 tool steel and I need to make a set for myself.
Some more.
Oh, like some really fine blades.
Yeah.
Man, they must have been using tiny blades on this thing, huh?
Yeah.
So what else we got in here?
Got some guide heads.
Oh man, you got spare guide heads. That's awesome, eh?
Another guide head.
I guess top and bottom. If you notice behind the guide, see there's that little bearing? There's like a capped bearing here, this one. I think the bearing's not special, but it has kind of a cap on it that the thing rides against. Okay. That kind of makes them special.
What do we got here? Something completely unrelated.
Oh, those are the rivets for holding the bands.
The files.
Band files, yeah. Scary device. No, maybe that's also tied up with whole band filing. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Guide support. And then another one of these things.
Cool.
Looks like we've got an original...
DoAll spanner.
Yeah.
Nice, eh? Oh yeah, knobs.
Spare knobs for the various adjustments.
So you got all of these with the machine?
Yeah. I'm a little bit nervous to try them because I reckon it's a death wish to put things on a rotating
Yeah.
bandsaw.
Yeah, they're kind of scary, huh? But man, you got a good set. There's like half rounds, narrow, wide, bastard, fine. Man, that's a pretty amazing set, huh?
Sure is.
Here's a slideshow showing the condition when he first got this machine and the repairs required to rewind the transformer to get it working again.
Because of its age, there's very little information online for parts or whatever, and I wanted to keep it original, so the only thing to do really was to learn how to rewind a transformer. Had to carefully unwind the coil and count the turns and measure the wire as it came off, and whenever there was a tap, and a tap is where primary windings come off at different stages or different layers to account for various voltages that this machine might have been supplied around the world. So I had to count all of those and then work out the correct length of copper wire and the gauge of copper wire that I needed to rewind it and put it all back together. So it was quite a big job.
Did you need to dunk the thing into lacquer when you were finished, or is that no longer a thing?
No, so what I did do was, so I used enamel copper wire, which is pretty standard. These days I use fiberglass insulation tape, which is very good insulation, and I did that in between the layers quite thick, so when I was finished it was really not going to be that beneficial to dip it in varnish because there was really not many places for the varnish to go.
Right, let's set up for that welding, huh? So this is some band material I picked up in Slovakia from I guess he was a surplus machine dealer.
The technique that DoAll mention in their manual is to actually grind these blades back to back like this, so that if you get any variation in your squareness, that it doesn't matter when you butt weld them together.
So let's meet at the grinder.
Clear.
Ready for engine start?
Yep. It's been a long time since I've done this, but so basically there's a stationary jaw and a moving jaw, and you have to butt these together, push them back quite tight.
So that's the blade in the jaws.
Okay, so then we've got a selector here for narrow to medium to wide. This is about a 3/8, so there's actually some scratching on here from the previous owner, 1/4 to 3/8, so maybe we'll put it there. Okay, once it's there, we can put this cover down just to stop any sparks going, and then that's it. It comes up. Alright, so that's welded, so lift that, you loosen these, and you bring it forward to here for the annealing process.
Oh, so the teeth should be like outside, or?
Yeah. Like that, and then you've got the annealing button here.
Wow. That's it, huh?
That's it.
So there's the weld.
So we've got our annealed weld now, and there's a gauge here, so you can see that it's a go-no gauge for the thickness. You turn the welder on and
And so there we have it. This lovely machine has got its welder back. It's working beautifully. Good job, Anton, and thanks a lot for letting me video this. Everyone else, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.